right, guys, we're here live at Cedar Run Brewery in Nokesville, Virginia. Getting ready to start the event here in the shadow of the Big Red Eye. We got Mike Familant here, and we're going to get this thing started here just shortly. See if I can turn this thing around so y'all can see the screen up there. We're getting everything set up and ready to go. Got a little bit of live music going in here at the same time. And here we got, what's your name again?
Mickey.
Mickey from Gainesville. Yep. It's here with us. So we're getting ready to get things started here. Y'all bear with me. I'm not used to doing these live on site shows, so just bear with me as we work through all this. Hopefully we're live and everybody can see us. All right, let's see here. Go across here. All right.
Is that actually, you know what? Can you actually record me the whole time?
All right, let's see. Deleted. Okay, looks like everything is playing okay. All right. Got a little bit of a crowd here today. A nice setup.
In the shadow, big red eyes, searching for the truth. To the forest, deep and wide, light follows every clue. From the mountains to the valleys, under the starry skies, Mike's quest never falters. For Bigfoot's elusive guides, from the Appalachians to the Rockies, he treads the path unseen. Every rustle in the bushes, every broken branch a dream. He's got tales from the locals, whispers in the breeze of a giant hairy creature that moves through the trees. In the shadow of big red eye, searching for the truth. Through the forest deep and wide, Mike follows every clue. From the mountains to the valleys, under the starry skies, Mike's quest never falters. For Bigfoot's elusive guides, from the Appalachians to the Rockies, he treads the path unseen. Every rustle in the bushes, every broken branch a dream. He's got tales from the locals, whispers in the breeze of a giant hairy creature that moves through the trees. In the shadow of big red eye, he's searching for the truth. Through the forest deep and wide, Mike follows every clue. From the mountains to the valleys, under the starry skies, Mike's quest never falters. For Bigfoot's elusive guides, for Bigfoot's elusive guides. Late at night by the fire, he tells stories bold and red. Shadows in the moonlight and giant footprints in the sand. With his eyes wide open, his heart set on the prize, he'll keep on searching till the day he finds. He knows there's magic in the unseen, in what can't be proved, but he feels it in the silence, in the way the trees are moved. So he marches on relentless through every storm and tide, in the shadow of a big red eye.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Who is here for Bigfoot? Who is not here for Bigfoot? 2 people. Wonderful. Awesome. First of all, a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. Raise your hand if you don't want to be on YouTube. Wonderful. Okay, so this is actually going live on YouTube right now. Billy is a host of our Bigfoot podcast radio station here. He's going live on Facebook right now. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. My name is Mike. I am from Northwestern New Jersey. It took me exactly 5 hours to get here today, so not too bad of a drive. Anyways, we're here doing a town hall meeting to look for Bigfoot. We are down here, my crew and I are down here looking for Bigfoot, and we're going to be filming in an undisclosed area outside the county. And what we're hoping to accomplish from this meeting is to find out where we can specify our research locations to try to specify in on where Bigfoot actually is. So, before we get going, there are a couple of reports of Bigfoot from here in Prince William County. Does anybody know that there's Bigfoot been reported here before? Yes, no, maybe. We're going to exit out of this because I don't know how to link the two. And we're going to go to 1957, a long time ago, U.S. Marine camp outside of the Quantico base. They were, a Marine was stationed at the case, anyways, this is a long time ago. They did a follow-up report, stationed at the base for 6 months in 1957, saw the Bigfoot on the base, very cool stuff. The next, second most recent sighting is a Class A sighting in November of 1994, which was a couple years ago. I-95 at Quantico Marine Base Courts exit. Does anybody know where that is? I don't. That's good. Anyways, he said this guy was a Marine for the Marine Corps base, and who does anybody know Matt Moneymaker? He actually investigated that case, read it, and you could read that report on the BFRO. The most recent report is a Class B report from the spring of 2010, coming from Prince William County here in Nokesville, right? 12-year-old daughter and I picked up my son at the Jules International Airport, 9:45 p.m., proceeded on Route 28, blah, 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 blah. Creature was bent over in the ditch beside the road, and if I remember correctly, there's some really cool pictures that you can see that this creature was, this is from a 12-year-old that drew that, so that's pretty cool. I don't know. But the real reason why we're here and the whole reason why we're doing all of this good stuff is to try to find out more recent and decent reports of where we can go to try to find Bigfoot tonight. Well, maybe not tonight because it's going to snow, but the next couple of weeks. Has anybody ever seen a Bigfoot around here? Okay, let's start it off this way. Who believes that there could be an unknown creature somewhere roaming the world? I think everybody's hand should be up. How many people believe, keep your hands up, that creature could be in North America? Why not, right? How many believe that it could be in Virginia? Wow.
I might know some of you. If you had a heating oil tank that was leaking, I might have pulled it out of the ground for you. Used to work for SES, Mike Lynn. Now work for the Virginia DQ over at Woodbridge. But I've been doing investigations since 2004. There have been sightings in Prince William Forest Park. There have been sightings over the Summer Duck, if anybody's ever heard of Phelps Wildlife Management Area. There have been sightings in the area. The only thing that I'm going to call a sighting, I'm not calling it a creature, but I did see something on Joplin Road, which, as you all know, runs between Prince William Forest Park and Quantico. Everybody knows where the sharp curve is if you get past the bridge. So I was on my way back from the Dumfries area coming in that direction and had something cross from left to right. And it was about 12 o'clock midnight when I was coming through there. So not saying it was Bigfoot, but I saw something from waist down as it went right into the woods right before I passed. So that happened. That's probably been at least 10 years ago. Haven't seen anything recently, but we're hoping this will kind of break the ice in case anybody's a little nervous about talking about something you've seen. But the whole goal here, of course, is to help Mike find out where people are having sightings. So if you decide you want to talk about anything, please feel free to raise your hand and just let us know. I will hand this mic to you.
Hi everybody, my name's Mickey. I'm actually from this area. I live in Gainesville, and some of you may recognize me as a owner of a dog training business. That's not what this is about, but my face is well known. And I wanted to share with everybody that sometimes it is hard to come out in regards to speaking what you've seen or feel or have heard. So I recently, my background basically is watching Bigfoot expeditions on TV, which maybe a lot of you experience, not necessarily have experienced true sightings. I was able to go on an expedition last fall or spring with Russell Accord and Mariah Mayer. From Expedition Unknown out in Kentucky. And we actually had people that came and joined us and where they had a confirmed sighting at. Now, this expedition taught us, in a sense, how to look for the Sasquatch, looking for the footprints, the sounds, different things like that. And where we're on the trail, in a sense, of following everybody. And here I am, but I want to go that way. And I want to go up that way, going out into the woods, not walking the trail. During this weekend expedition, it gave me the opportunity to learn how to cast a footprint, which is really exciting and fun to do. But when we were out exploring in our group, we did hear whoops. It was that whoop, and so we thought maybe it was somebody in another group that was giving whoops, and no, they actually had also heard the whoops too. So this was out in Kentucky, not in this area, but since I experienced that, I went out to West Virginia's Bigfoot Festival because it was closed and it was so cool. Mike was there, but I went on a different day that he was there. But it's just really cool to connect yourselves with other people that may feel that Bigfoot is really out there and not. I'm at a point, I don't care what other people think. I believe what I believe because of what I've heard, but even before I actually experienced it myself, that curiosity of never say never. And so utilizing this time when I saw this and becoming friends with Mike, I was like, what a perfect opportunity just to be able to allow people to express their feelings and be able to express themselves and say what they feel and not worry about ridicule or what other people think. And actually, since that sighting, does everybody remember, it was in Facebook group pages, there was another sighting down Quantico, Fredericksburg area just this past fall. So I know you had listed there, I believe you may not have it.
Yeah, they probably don't have it.
Yeah, but anyway, so Bigfoot is out there. And so we're looking for the community to help us in regards to where to take that expedition. Who wants to be a part of doing expeditions and really, expanding everybody's knowledge on how to do different things and maybe get out into that world. So, Bigfoot is real.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you. Hey, so who is planning to come to my library presentation in the snow tomorrow? Nobody. I'm going to be there.
If the library's open.
If the library's open, that is. Anybody else coming to the other presentations? Yes, a couple people. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to do the same thing because why not? Because I can. Anyways, the reason why I do what I do is to entice friends and families to get off the couch and into nature more. How imperative is it, especially since COVID, everybody's so connected to their phones and their laptops. Everybody's working from home nowadays, right? I would challenge you to take that hike and see that waterfall that you've been putting off taking for the past couple of years. Go and take that hike. See something that you wouldn't see sitting on your couch every day. That's my challenge to everybody out there. Anyways, a little bit about me. My name is Mike Familant. I am 35 years old. I come from the armpits of Pennsylvania and New York, in northwestern Pennsylvania, or northwestern New Jersey. I'm an EMT and a firefighter. Used to be, not anymore. Now I'm a full-time Bigfoot researcher. I do this full-time. A little bit about what got me into a Bigfoot research was back in 2011. I was working at a beach resort in Sarasota, Florida, which was the best job that I have ever had my entire life, right? The boss was like, hey, if you want to go watch the sunset on the beach with the guests, you can do that. I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice, So anyways, I'm out there one evening and I'm watching Finding Bigfoot on television. Has anybody seen Finding Bigfoot? It's a show on Animal Planet where they go out and they look for Bigfoot. They interview witnesses. It's very similar to my show, except my show's better. And they go out and they look for witnesses, and they said at the end of the show, hey, if you guys want to go out and look for Bigfoot with us, you can. And I said, oh my goodness, there is no way I am not doing this. So I signed up that night. And I got 2 tickets, one for me, one for my fiance, whom I did not tell we are going to go on a Bigfoot expedition. This was going to be a little pre-wedding surprise thing, right? So anyways, about 2 weeks before the expedition, I've never been camping before my entire life. So I had to gather all my camping gear, like my tent, the sleeping bag, the headlamps that they require, and I'm hiding all of this stuff in our little 1-bedroom patio closet apartment, thing. She is never gonna find this stuff, right? I come home from work one evening, and I'm greeted by her at the door with her hand on her hip and the face. Ladies, do you know the face? Men, you know the face? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know the face. Greeted by that at the door. She had did something that she had never done ever prior to this in our relationship. To this day, I have no idea why she even did this. She decided to clean the apartment. And she found all of the camping gear. And she said, Mike, what are we doing? And I said, hon, we are going to North Florida and we are looking for Bigfoot. And then we broke up. So there was that. Forced me to move to Tampa, got a job working on the ambulance for the city of Tampa, and I had 3 EMT partners working on the ambulance. I had picked the weirdest partner, that's how I did it, and these tickets are non-refundable, which I've come to find out. So I picked the weirdest partner. I said, Jimmy, I got these tickets to go look for Bigfoot. Do you want to come with me? And he said, Mike, I have never wanted to do anything more in my life. Yes, I'm coming to look for Bigfoot. So, boom, we go up to North Florida to look for Bigfoot. Cue in Torreya State Park. Torreya is one of the most beautiful parks I've ever been to. It's very cool. It's in the panhandle of North Florida, about 30 miles from Georgia, about 60 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. And what's cool about Torreya State Park is it has the Torreya pine tree. It's the only species of pine trees that are alive today that grow in this park. It's the only place in the world that they grow. And unfortunately, it's a dying species. There's only about 200 species of these pine trees left on the planet, only growing in Torreya State Park. So if you ever have the opportunity to go down and visit this park, go down, take a look at the Torreya pine tree. It's this piece of history that truly is not going to be around forever. I'm going down there next month just to take a look at it. It's so beautiful. Anyways, we go down there for 3 nights. And we go down there and we get down there and there is like 60 other people looking for Bigfoot. So I said, how are we going to find Bigfoot with 60 other people here? This is crazy, right? So we kind of camped far away from everybody because we thought everybody was just going to be weird. So anything, 3-night trip, 4 days, nothing happens. A bunch of hikes we go on, meeting witnesses, meeting researchers, very cool stuff, but nothing in the way of Bigfoot research or evidence. So the final night comes around, and we have a campfire. Jimmy and I, we're sitting kind of, again, far away from everybody because, the weird factor. And we have our own little campfire going, just the two of us. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're just talking back and forth. We're watching this beautiful meteor shower. It's gorgeous. It's one of the things that you can't see living in the city of Tampa, so it was gorgeous to watch, And we're just taking it all in, talking back and forth. And all of a sudden, you hear, bam! A tree knock come from one side of camp. And I immediately thought that it was these people that put on the expedition. They're hoaxing us, they're knocking on a tree. Okay, not a big deal, didn't think twice about it. About, 2 minutes later, bam! Tree knock from the complete opposite side. So I thought, man, these people got to be pretty good. They got to have radios, whatever. So anyways, about 15 minutes goes by, Jimmy and I are just talking back and forth again, and all of a sudden, you hear come crashing down through the forest, plunk, a fist-sized rock, just like this. Now, it was at this point in my life where I said, nope, this is how horror movies start. I am getting out of here, right? So Jimmy was like, well, if you want to sleep in the car, you're more than welcome to sleep in the car. By the time he said that, I had my sleeping bag, and I was just beelining it for the car. So anyways, Jimmy comes up in the car, and he's like, Mike, Bigfoot knock on trees, and they throw rocks. This could be squatchy activity that we're having right now, right? So I said, I suppose you're right. So I went back out by the campfire. Over the course of the next 15 minutes, 4 more of these fist-sized rocks come crashing down, land 5 to 10 feet away from us. Now, what can throw rocks? People, absolutely. 3 things on this planet that can throw rocks. People are one of them. What else? Monkeys, primates. What else? What are we all here for? Bigfoot, 3 things that can throw rocks. If it was a primate, a monkey living in North Florida, I think we would have an idea that they have a tribe there, and we probably know about it by now. Back to the story. So Jimmy comes up to me. He's like, Mike, I got an idea. I'm gonna throw a rock back at it. So I said, Jimmy, man, I don't think that's a good idea, you know? So he takes one of these rocks and he chucks it back in that direction. I knew it wasn't a person because at that exact moment, a 15-pound laptop-sized boulder comes crashing down and lands 5 feet from us. Serious as a heart attack, that's what happened. I went into this expedition thinking this was going to be a fun little thing, camping with a bunch of crazy people in North Florida, right? I left this expedition knowing that there's an unknown species capable of throwing rocks at me in Florida. That's a stark difference of 72 hours prior, right? So anyways, we left this expedition and we made it Jimmy and I, the person I was with, made it our personal goal to figure out what threw these rocks at us in the woods, right? So over the course of the next 2-3 weeks, we started talking to researchers, witnesses, looking at hot spots, and over the course of the next, I'd say 2 weeks, we decided that we are now professionals. So cue in Cold Creek State Park. Cold Creek State Park is in Central Florida. It's one of the most beautiful parks that I've ever been to. Guys, I go around professionally camping at state parks. I would go to Cold Creek in a second. That's my go-to park. If you ever find yourself in Central Florida, go take a walk through the salt grass and the black water flowing with the gators and the reeds. You know, you can't beat it. But anyways, we go there for one night, and it is a no-holds-barred kind of night. I'm doing Bigfoot calls like it's my job. Like every 2 feet, I'm doing a Bigfoot call. Anything with a brain would know that there's 2 idiots running through the woods doing these calls. Anything with a brain probably would have got out of the area, right? So anyways, we're about a mile from camp and we're hiking, and all of a sudden Jimmy has got his, he's not scared at all because he's got his 6-foot-tall machete, you know, and his 10 million lumen spotlight that he's got shining around. So he's not scared. We're walking through the woods, and all of a sudden, his spotlights come across 2 reflective eyes. One pair, fire engine red, just like this. The other pair, aqua blue. Intriguing, right? So anyways, we, in our infinite wisdom of everything in the woods, we started saying, hey! We thought they were people. Hey! We, as people, we don't have eye shine, right? We can't see at night. We don't have eye shine like our pets do. But we didn't know that at the time. So we start saying, hey! We're just looking for Bigfoot! Sorry! We thought they were poachers illegally poaching animals on the property. So we say, hey, this is very unsettling feeling. Hey, we're just going to go back to camp. We don't mean to, bother you guys. And all of a sudden, the red set blinked, turned, looked to the blue set, looked back at us, gone. Another no moment in my life. We put Jimmy with his machete, put a notch in the tree. So when we went back the next day, we could see that the eyes were about 7.5 feet tall and about 2.5 feet apart from each other. So very intriguing stuff. This was back in 2011 though. In 2016 rolls around, I moved back to New Jersey. I get a little homesick. It is possible to get homesick for New Jersey. As popular and controversial. Anyways, I moved back to New Jersey and I'm very bored, so I said, I'm gonna make a TV show. Because that's what every normal person thinks about, right? Why not? So I said, all these shows on TV about Bigfoot are not the way that Bigfooting is actually done. They're edited very much So I want to make a show about what Bigfoot truly is. So I made a show called In the Shadow of Big Red Eye, and the title of it, Big Red Eye. In 1972, a park ranger in New Jersey's High Point State Park went on record and said he saw 2 pairs of reflecting red eyes in the forest. He wrote it down in his report, and somehow the newspaper got a hold of it, and the next morning, Big Red Eye was front page in the newspaper. So this is my show, In the Shadow of Big Red Eye. I hope you guys enjoy the promo and can see it and can hear it. We're just going to roll with it.
Squatchers and Squatchettes. Here we go.
Dude, do you know how much it takes to confuse a barred owl?
I'm scared.
You're shooting bugs in here, right? Okay. No, I'm good.
So guys, that is In the Shadow of Big Red Eye. We are currently filming, and this is as of tonight, season 9. 9 years we've been doing this. How awesome is that? Maine to Florida. Just a couple of places that we've been to. Last year, you can see Maine to Florida. Almost made it to Michigan, not quite. This is 2024, where we've been to, where we're going to go. Very cool stuff. Last year, in 2024, I spent 139 nights just tent camping looking for Bigfoot. That's a lot, right? Just looking for Bigfoot. We're going to go over 150 nights in 2025 looking for Bigfoot. Hey, do you guys want to see me passed out after doing a Bigfoot call?
Yes.
I love the one real quick, front and center. Yes. So let me just preface the story by saying that this is after 17 nights of tent camping in Florida. after a 5-mile hike in 97-degree weather. And they wanted me to do a Bigfoot call. This is what happens.
Just because I could, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I'm okay. I was okay. Not a big deal. It's okay to laugh. It's all right. Fun fact, little fun story for you. After I fully recuperated from the pass out situation, we did the 5-mile hike back into to the trailhead. Once we got to the trailhead, Wiley, the videographer who was filming this clip, said to me, "Oh, Mike, I left my phone back at the lake." Another 10-mile round trip hike back to the lake and back. I thought we were going to get attacked by a puma because it was that late at night. Anyways, if you're looking for Bigfoot, this is a great map of where you're going to see Bigfoot. As you can see, let me see if this works. No, it doesn't work. You can see the Pacific Northwest up in Northern California, Washington, Oregon State. Very big for Sasquatch sightings. You can see Florida because it's, it's Florida. And then you got the Midwest, the Northeast, very cool stuff. Again, we tried to do some stuff to see if anybody had saw Bigfoot around here. We're going to talk about New Jersey here for a second because
You're from New Jersey.
it's my presentation. I can do what I want. Anyways, New Jersey is really cool because New Jersey, I would challenge anybody that has is a Bigfoot researcher or investigator here in Virginia or wherever you come from. I would challenge you to take my philosophy and try to apply it to your area to see if it works out. Bigfoot sightings in New Jersey increased 80% every third year. Why? That's a good question, right? Anybody have any theories?
Let's start.
There's some more context.
Because I'm going to go social media.
Social media. What do you mean?
So I saw one, so did I. Didn't happen 30 years ago.
Right, but if you, I bet you, if you do the algorithm of when that sighting was and what month that sighting was, do you know when it was, what month and what year?
No, I'm using that as an example.
I'd say if you can basically track Bigfoot around the state of New Jersey is what I'm trying to say. They every third year they're in the same area. So in northern New Jersey, where I'm from, I would look for Bigfoot every third year. I don't necessarily put all my focus on Bigfoot research in northern New Jersey the years that I don't think Bigfoot are there.
So migration patterns?
We're going to get to that. That's a very good point, and leads me to my next question. So if Bigfoot sightings increase 80% every third year, that would lead me to believe that they would eat similar things to what other predators live in that area do. So what do other predators that live in this area in New Jersey, what are we talking about? Black bear? Do we have black bears that live here? Yes, right? Black bear are extremely prevalent in northern New Jersey. So anyways, what do black bear eat? Everything, yes. Seriously though, what do they eat though? Besides everything? A lot of berries. Berries, bushes, and ferns consist of 70% of their diet, right? So I think that would, if you had two large apex predators that live in the same area, I believe that they would eat very similar things. So berries, bushes, and ferns. What's super interesting is if you take a berry bush and you strip that berry bush completely, it takes 3 years for that berry bush to grow berries again. I think Bigfoot are nomadic, and I think they follow the food around the state. Just like I would challenge anybody, like I said, that lives in Virginia or wherever you come from, see if they follow the nomadic patterns of other animals. Very cool stuff. But well, we're gonna leave the questions for the end. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I think maybe 98% of Bigfoot reports that come into me or to another Bigfoot organization are probably misidentifications of known animals. And we're gonna roll with black bear because inherently, when a black bear is seen, where a black bear lives, Bigfoot reports are known to come from. So that's a very good qualifier if you're looking into where to look for Bigfoot. But anyways, bears have a couple different things than Bigfoot do. First thing, bears have ears on the top of their heads. So when a bear stands up on its back two legs, it's going to look very human-like, right? But you can see ears. Also has a protruding muzzle coming out of the front of the mouth and the nose. Bigfoot also have very large protruding shoulders, which bears do not have. Bears have very slender shoulders. However, I am going to show you guys a clip of a bear from northwestern New Jersey. Has anybody heard of Pedals? Pedals? I would love to introduce you to Pedals. Pedals is a bipedal black bear from northwestern New Jersey who unfortunately got both of his paws injured in a hunting accident and had to adapt to bipedalism. But you can clearly see the difference between a bear and a Bigfoot with Pedals here. Isn't he cute? Pedals is one of our little local celebrities there. Let's zoom in to Sussex County, New Jersey. Again, why? Because I can. Sussex County, New Jersey has 71 current Bigfoot sightings. That's the highest east of the Mississippi River. That's pretty legitimate, right? So if you go to my website, shadowofredeye.com, you can click on each individual pin, which represents a sighting. You could read from the initial report what we got, all the way to the in-depth investigation to what we found. If we found any evidence with that or not. But you can find that for all 71 sightings in Sussex County. It's the only place that's user. You can add, anybody can add this to the map. The only place like this in the country that you can find this, which is pretty cool. If you look at the Bigfoot sightings here, you can see there's a clear box pattern, and my laser pointer obviously does not work on the TV screen, but there's a clear square pattern throughout the county. The next slide I'm going to show you is a known animal migration pattern through Sussex County. And what I'd like you to notice is that it's the exact same as where the Bigfoot sightings have been. That's pretty neat, right? Cool stuff. So if you are looking for Bigfoot, my challenge to you would be start in a known animal migration pattern, preferably along a power line or a gas line, because I think those have very good high probability chances of finding a Bigfoot. But that's New Jersey. We're not in New Jersey. Where are we?
Virginia.
I got the right map up, right? Yeah? Okay, good. And look, Prince William County, there are some sightings here, which we talked about before. If you're looking for Bigfoot in Virginia, you'll notice that this is a map of the BFRO database. Do you notice how there's not a lot of reports here? Why is that, you think? Is there not a lot of Bigfoot in Virginia? I think there's a ton of Bigfoot in Virginia. But why don't they get reported? Any ideas?
Reporting them to local.
Reporting them to different people. There's no actual database that we have as Bigfoot researchers to get all these reports in to each other, right? So that's a problem. There's also the BFRO database, right? Which they can pick and choose what reports they post. So there's many more reports from Virginia than there are that have been seen here. But that's beside the point. Very cool stuff. This is the BMCC1, the Bigfoot Mobile Command Center. She's right outside there. You're more than welcome to take a picture if you'd like. Don't charge any money. 2015 Subaru Outback, completely uplifted myself. I took out the complete and entire back seat in the trunk. My mom almost had a conniption, but I did. I made a raised sleeping platform, put some storage compartments in it, secondary battery so I could charge all my stuff. But the big thing to look out here is the reflective graphic on the side, right? It says Bigfoot Mobile Command Center Research all big on it. I did this for a couple reasons. One, free advertising. I mean, come on, right? You're not going to go with that. Two, I'd say about every second week or so, I'll be filling up at the gas station, right? And somebody will come up to me and without hesitation, they'll say, hey, I've never told anybody this before. However, 30 years ago, I saw a Bigfoot. Now, how powerful is that? Think about that for a second. Someone that holds on to their story that's never told anybody what they saw for that long, and then because of my show in my car, they have that ability to release that. That's powerful. That's big stuff right there, right? That's the whole reason why I love what I do, right? Anyways, some field equipment going into what we do in the woods. What do you guys think would be the most valuable piece of equipment that I would bring out in the woods would be?
Thermal camera.
Thermal camera? No.
Water.
Good guess. That's coming up later. Water? No. Need that to survive. How about, what do we want to get proof of on a video or audio? So a camera, right? This is our HD camera. It's actually filming back there. I just upgraded it. I spent a lot of money, so that's a very good camera right now. Don't mess it up, please. Anyways, this is to get audio and video evidence of Bigfoot. It has a night vision on it, so whenever I go out at night, I can see in clear into the night. Very impressive stuff. Next thing we always bring out with us is our digital voice recorder. This is to get audio evidence of Bigfoot vocalizing or knocking on trees. And I'll play you guys a clip from that in a second. Next thing we bring out is our FLIR Scout. Thank you. This is our FLIR thermal imaging camera. So this thing, like normal cameras, picture light, and you can take a picture of light. This thing takes a picture of heat. You ever see the police pursuits on camera, and from the helicopter, all the sparks flying out from the back side of the car? That's thermal imaging technology. This thing can see a field mouse at 100 yards, no problem. Perfect for looking for Bigfoot. Next thing we bring out is our HydroCal casting material. If you didn't see the cast as you came in, we have Bigfoot cast over on the table there. They're all made of HydroCal casting material. It's like plaster. You guys know plaster Paris? It's like plaster Paris on steroids. That's what I tell people. It's really good. It's perfect for it's what FBI uses to do the prints. Next thing we bring out is our evidence collection kits. What do you guys think would be some things that I would have in my evidence collection kit? Tweezers, the T word, always tweezers come up first. I don't know why, I have no idea, but tweezers, yes, they're in there. Anything else?
Gloves.
Gloves, what kind of gloves? Sterile gloves, anything else? Ziploc bags, I'm glad you said that because that is the complete and total wrong answer.
Oh my God, I'm so mad at this game.
The reason why, and I'll tell you, thank you for saying that. The reason why is if you take a piece of hair and you put it in a Ziploc bag, you close that Ziploc bag, if it's in there for any length of time whatsoever, you just ruined the DNA capture of that. So you always want to put it in a paper bag. Paper bags are the way to go when it comes to evidence collection, unlike you see on TV, on the CSI shows. I'm aware. Last thing we always bring out with us is our animal collar. and would be like a deer caller. And what I try to do is try to lure the Bigfoot into our camp. You know, I think Bigfoot is kind of like fishing, where you throw out a lure and reel it in. Unfortunately, with Bigfooting, you wouldn't use a rod and a reel. That wouldn't make sense. So you're going to use something else. So you use an animal collar. So this is going to be like an injured deer collar. So I'm going to do an injured deer. And in theory, Bigfoot is going to hear that injured deer and say, ooh, easy meal. I'm going to run in and check this out. And instead of seeing an injured deer, he's going to see me with my thermal imaging camera. You know, that's the theory of it. Hasn't worked out quite yet. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here. We're going to talk about trail cameras for a second. Does anybody know what a trail camera is? Hunters' cameras that they put in trails, they're motion activated. People come up to me all the time and say, Mike, there are thousands of these cameras in the trees all the time in the forest, capturing pictures, video, audio. They come across every known animal, but not a Bigfoot. What gives? That's a good question, right? So my theory behind that is that Bigfoot, remember we said that Bigfoot in the beginning of the program, Bigfoot can see a little differently than we can see? I think Bigfoot had the ability to see this PIR sensor. It's a sensor that's in the camera that as humans, we cannot see, but other animals can see it. I think Bigfoot can see this light and just completely and totally avoids it. Would make sense. Just like if you were to have this unknown object in your living room, you probably wouldn't go by it. You'd probably avoid it, just like Bigfoot does as well. However, there is one very intriguing picture of Bigfoot on a trail camera photo. This is not it. This is obviously two bear cubs, correct? Can we all agree that it's two bear cubs, right? Yes? Two bear cubs. This is in Allegheny National Forest in northwestern Pennsylvania back in 2007. Hunter was baiting his trail camera with apples. There was apples right on the ground there. And the first picture that he got pre-hunting season was these two baby, beautiful bear cubs, right? The next picture, however, is a little intriguing. What is that? Can everybody see that? Y'all sat in the back, shouldn't have. This is the Jacobs photo. And this is the Jacobs creature. This is, again, in Allegheny National Forest. This is a creature that should not exist, ladies and gentlemen. People say it could, did I hear someone say it's a bear?
It's a bear. It looks like a bear.
It could be a bear with mange. A bear with mange looks like this, right? That kind of looks similar. Give or take, the legs kind of are a little funky, but give or take about 80% match, right? Give or take. However, if you dive a little bit deeper into this photo, you can find something remarkable. This is a photo of a chimpanzee from a zoo in the United Kingdom. If these are not doing the same pose, I don't know what is. You couldn't pay that monkey enough money to do the same pose that this unknown creature is doing, right? I think the Jacobs photo is a unknown juvenile Bigfoot from northwestern Pennsylvania, just because of the way that it's shown here. It's I did my due diligence, and I tried to research, and I asked if there was if there was like a zoo that lost a chimpanzee. Nobody lost a chimpanzee. Granted, could have been somebody's pet. You make the decision, it's up to you. Where are the skeptics in the room? Who doesn't believe in Bigfoot? Nobody is going to raise their hand. Didn't think so. That's okay. If you don't believe in Bigfoot, you're not probably the only one in the room. But I will bring you to the Republic of Congo in the early 1900s, where the village people, not the band, are saying to the biologists and the scientists that we have a unicorn zebra horse that comes into camp. And the biologists say that creature cannot exist. That's an impossibility for that creature to exist, right? Unicorn zebra horse. Guys, it took them a long time, but I give you the okapi. It's a unicorn zebra horse as described by the village people. Guys, this was a long time ago, though. This is a half-ton creature that science says couldn't exist.
You can't get one. I know you want.
They're a lot of money. You could probably get one. They're a lot of money, though. But this, guys, science says this couldn't exist. Just like they say Bigfoot can't exist, right? If that was too long ago, that was the early 1900s. Let's go to something a little bit more recent. I would love to introduce you guys to Georgette. Georgette is here feeding this monkey in the Republic of Congo in I believe it was 2007, 2008. And anyways, she's feeding this monkey, and just a couple of years ago, the biologists are going through their photo albums, and they say, uh-oh, this creature couldn't exist. This picture was taken back in 2008. 2012, the biologists flip through their photos, and they say, oh, man, we don't know what this monkey is. That's not good. Guys, this is 2000, it took them 5 years to classify the Lasula, right? The cool part about the Lasula is actually the Lasula is a primate that can produce infrasound. That's a sound that we as people cannot hear, but we can feel. Just like Bigfoot is supposedly able to produce as well. So some very interesting stuff coming from there. Do you guys want to see some of the best evidence that I've come across?
Yeah.
I like the people that say no, because there are. I had one guy argue with me one time. That was fun. Let's start. I shut him down real quick, don't you worry. Start in Whitehall, New York. Anybody familiar with Whitehall? No? No, one person. Has anybody ever heard of Whitehall? That's Lake George area, Lake George region. Anyways, we go up to Whitehall. There is a Whitehall Bigfoot festival that brings in 20,000 people every year for Bigfoot. So we go up there, we vend and we speak and we do all that good stuff, but we also do research. We were up there one year and we got surrounded by Bigfoot. We walked into about a mile down this unused hunting road, and we walked into something that we couldn't really explain. I'm going to play you guys a sound clip for it now. What I want you to listen for is Bigfoot's footfalls. You can hear Bigfoot walking. You can hear Bigfoot knock on trees and throw rocks right across their head. So I'll play it for you right now.
Are you guys okay? Okay, let's just sit for about 5 minutes and listen, because I think we got some activity close by, and then maybe we'll do a mobilization.
Okay, if you guys want to proceed back, you're more than welcome to.
So that lasted about 6 minutes before we decided to evacuate the area. We went back the next day, as any good researchers would do, to try to find physical evidence of what was throwing those rocks at us. And we found this. This is a tree that's at about a 90-degree angle completely across the path that was not there the night prior. There was no storms that came through, no weather pattern that could have caused this damage to the tree. However, something obviously did not want us in that area. Here's another perfect example of a tree break up in Whitehall, another one. You guys want to hear a funny Whitehall story?
Yes.
Again, I love the people that say no. We were up there one evening, and it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. We're sitting at base camp, and I get the great idea to go on a night hike because we want to look for Bigfoot, right? So I have this whole plan, this trail that we're gonna do. We get down. It's a mile-long hike. We get down to the trailhead, and we get there. It's me and a pair of twins. Okay, it's me and investigating with a pair of twins. If you ever have the opportunity to investigate with a pair of twins, it's phenomenal. But we are in there, and this quickly turns into an investigation that I do not want to do anymore. Has anybody been in a hike that they just started and they don't want to do anymore? This was the one. So anyways, we were supposed to go down a mile-long trail. It wasn't even a trail, it was off trail. The one thing you have to know when you hike with Mike, especially on an investigation, is we do off-trail hiking. We don't go on trail, right? So this hike consisted of going through grass that's about this tall. So we basically had to swim, do one of the swim hikes, right? Quickly turns into a hike that I do not want to do anymore. I have never had so many mosquitoes ever in my life on a hike. So I am putting on off like it's my job. I should be in an off commercial at this stage of my life, right? And I throw it to the twins, and they say, no, we have our own stuff. And I say, well, that's dramatic. But anyways, we start the hike, get about halfway done with the hike, and this is, again, I'm not looking forward. I'm not feeling this hike anymore. And all of a sudden, I'm in the back of the twins. I'm bringing up the caboose, right? And the twins start spraying their stuff. And it is wafting heavily back into my face and my nose and my mouth. And it tastes and smells horrible. You never, nothing, bad, right? But I keep my composure. And I say, and until after the hike, because in the name of Bigfoot research, right? After the hike, I finally go up to them and I say, guys, what was that bug spray? They're like, we didn't spray any bug spray. I'm like, well, what did you spray then? They said, oh, the deer urine? Yeah, that's the time I got deer urine all down, yes. The trials and tribulation, it's not all fun, guys. It's not all fun. We'll bring you to the Pine Barrens for best evidence number 2. Where, thank you very much. Where we find Bigfoot footprints. However, they're not giant Bigfoot footprints, they're juvenile Bigfoot footprints. If Bigfoot is a biological creature, which we think it is, it has to start out as a juvenile or baby at some point, right? So it's going to leave baby Bigfoot footprints. Cool thing to note, this one's cool. As a Bigfoot field researcher, we have to be able to determine the difference between a Bigfoot footprint and a human footprint, right? So the way we do that is by using 3 different methods. The first thing we look for is called toe splay. As humans, we wear shoes and socks our entire lives, so our toes are pressed together like this. Bigfoot do not. Their toes are splayed apart like this. Second thing we look for is, you know, when you go walking on the beach, you leave that crescent shape in the sand. That's called your longitudinal arch. Bigfoot does not have one. Bigfoot's foot is very flat. Third thing we look for is actually a joint in Bigfoot's foot that it has that we do not have, called your mid-tarsal break. And if you want to know anything more about footprint anatomy, I will give you the guide to do that. As you can see in this picture, I was a little bit more richer than I was in the other one. Got a 20 spot there. This one is super cool, if you can see it or not. The photo is a Bigfoot juvenile footprint of water that is actually in the track. So the sun has not evaporated the water out of this track yet. This track is less than 12 hours old, probably more like 4 to 6 hours, which is, I'm not saying this is a Bigfoot, but I'm saying our team is in the right area to find the right thing, right? Is that not true? That's pretty cool. Whoops, not the right button. Then we cast them using our hydrocal casting material. You can find an example up here. And we're going to go to High Point State Park for best evidence number 1, where I started out by doing a barred owl call. Does anybody know what a barred owl sounds like?
No.
No? Wonderful. So I'll have to go. All right. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Right? Maybe a little accent on that. I apologize if I had an accent. I did that vocalization, and about 2 seconds later, I get back the best Bigfoot vocalization that I've ever heard in person before. What you're going to listen for is a series of 3 Bigfoot howls, and on the 3rd howl, you can actually hear me say, "That's not a coyote." I shouldn't have said that, but I did. So I'll play it for you now. Whoops. Can y'all hear that? I'll play it one more time for y'all. So I sent that clip that you just heard away to a linguist from the military, absolutely here in Virginia, who I cannot say his name, but however, he happens to do Bigfoot research on the side. He's a linguist from the military, does Bigfoot research on the side, and he came back with this report that said because of X, Y, and Z, it's outside of human vocal range, and it's no known animal from northwestern New Jersey. That's coming from a scientist in the military. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah. Good stuff. I found this, a science teacher from New York City had called me and said, "Mike, I find thousands of Bigfoot footprints every year in High Point State Park. I want to show them to you." I said, "Fine, let's go take a look." We get down there early one morning, about 7 o'clock in the morning in February. Early, we were the first people in the trailhead parking lot. First people to walk down 1.5 miles down this trailhead, and we find these. There were 6 of them over about 70 yards, and some people say that this could be a bear double step. Sometimes when a bear steps, its back paw will land in its front paw, make it look very human-like, right? If this was a black bear double step, this would be New Jersey's record-sized black bear, which is 800 pounds, plus an additional 200 pounds. This would be a 1,000-pound black bear if this was a black bear footprint. I'm not saying this is a Sasquatch footprint, but I'm not saying it's not either. I'll let that be up to you to determine. If you guys, I see some squatchers and squatchettes in the audience, that's awesome. if you guys are looking into going into Bigfoot research, you don't have to spend a ton of money like I did getting into it. All you got to do is go to my YouTube channel and check out Squatchables. Did not steal the name from Lunchables. All right. It's an 11-part series about how to find Bigfoot, Bigfooting 101. You can check that out all on the YouTube channel. We also have an awesome Etsy store, but the cool thing is the brewery was nice enough to let us set up a little merch table. So if you want to buy me, dinner tonight, you could. Not gonna say no to it. More than welcome. But the big way and the best way to support me, my journey, and my show is to simply head over to our YouTube. Well, actually, I put a new slide in. We have a Patreon. That's something you can't see. That's good stuff. But is to head over to our YouTube and just click subscribe. It's free. You don't have to do anything. It's very simple. You can see some stuff over there. Guys, we have over 300 episodes for you guys to check out on our YouTube channel, all from over the country. However, since this is kind of like a special little event, and I don't do this too often, I figure have you guys been having a good time?
Yeah.
You guys want to see something that I don't show anybody?
Yes.
All right, let me preface this by saying that we were driving. Has anybody ever gotten sprayed by bear mace?
Bear mace, no.
That makes one of us. All right, I'll tell you the story. We were driving down this old road in northwestern New Jersey, and it has not been filled with asphalt probably since it's been made in the early 1800s. So it's very bumpy, right? So we're driving down this. I, in my early years of Bigfoot research, have always been terrified of getting attacked by a bear. Okay? So I got the Guinness Book of World Records largest size of bear mace that you could possibly get. Probably illegal in the United States, but I got it. And this thing, you remember what like the billy clubs the police used to ride around with in the 70s? That was this thing. That's how big this thing was, right? So I'm just walking around with this, and I'm totally cool. I'm in the back of my friend's Jeep. It's a 2-door Jeep. I'm in the back, 2 people up front, and all of a sudden, we're driving down this old road, and boom, we hit a bump. And all of a sudden, the fire extinguisher in the Jeep starts going off. Right? So I yell up to the front, Mike, why is your fire extinguisher going? By the time I had said that, I had realized that it was not the fire extinguisher, but the bear mace. Started coughing, I mean, every orifice in my body was leaking at this point. It was not fun. It wafted up to the front seat. And Mike, the driver, he almost flipped the Jeep trying to turn the thing over. But anyways, he got the thing turned over. We both, the front seat passengers, they jump out of the car, they shut the doors on me and lock me in the car. So here I am in the back seat. Anyways, because we film a documentary style show, we're always filming. Do you guys want to see what happens when you get bear mace?
Yeah, sure.
I figured as much. I like the people that say no because I don't want to see me in pain. And then all y'all. You can laugh at this too. I laugh at it now. Did not at first.
Bear mace just went off in the car. Where's his face, pretty much?
So it's our final day here. Delaware workout. Last night was somewhat interesting. There was a gentleman on the side of the road that we kind of helped. Bipolar, schizophrenic. And we got him some help, which is nice. We talked to him for a while. And as we were going to our final night still can't open the other eye, so we're trying to figure out how to get home. I don't know really know about this.
So that's what happens. I would never hope that on anybody. So we obviously have a great audience here. So I'm going to answer the first couple questions that we get most asked. The most common question. First question I get asked: where are the bones? Great question, right? Anybody have any theories? B, the B word, bury. Yes. Anybody else? Some people think they could bury. How many people are ever in the woods ever in their life? Raise your hand. Not me. That's one. Okay, great. How many times have we come across a bear skeleton? Right? Good question. So that makes you, we know that there's bears out here. We know there's a ton of bears, especially in northern Jersey around here. There's bears. Do we ever come across their remains? No, we don't. To find that you have a creature or a Bigfoot with so many not the population of not bears, there's no way you're gonna find a big. If you're looking for Bigfoot bones, I think you're looking for a needle in a stack of needles. That's what I'm telling you. How old do they get? Great question. I think they get to about 60-ish years of age, and that's just because that's how old primates in captivity get. So that's how old I think Bigfoot's probably get as well. Another great question, how many are there? Another great question. I think there's probably about 2,000 that live in the United States. 2,000 Bigfoot, that's a lot. But if you think about it, it's not a lot for around here, mostly in the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, like we talked about. But I do think Virginia has a very healthy population of Bigfoot as well. Anyways, you guys have any questions for me? We're gonna make this really easy, yes.
Have you ever found Bigfoot scat and what do you think it looks like?
Bigfoot scat, that's a great question. I have found Bigfoot scat in the past. I collected it using the brown bag method, right? And I put it in my freezer, which is how you're supposed to collect scat. And unfortunately, I labeled it as Bigfoot scat, and my mom found it and threw it out. So she, no, we don't have any Bigfoot scat anymore. No. Actually, if you do go to the museum in Blue Ridge, Georgia, they do have a specimen about 16-inch scat of Bigfoot that you can check out. Yeah. Any other questions? It's a good question. I'd like the poop question. Yes?
You were saying that they thump the logs. Why is that for communication? Why did they do that?
Yeah, so that's another great question. So I think Bigfoot are highly intelligent creatures, right? So I think that they would need a way to be able to tell their family group or whoever they may be hanging out with that there's a creature or a threat in the area. So, for example, I don't tell many people this because I like to keep this as my kind of like own thing. But if you go out into the woods and you hear 2 knocks, you probably have 2 people with you. If you hear 1 knock, you probably are by yourself. If you hear 4 knocks, you probably have 4 people with you. That's how, in my experience, that's always how it's been. So that's how I think Bigfoot alert other Bigfoot to know that there's this many people in the area. Great question. Anybody else? Yes?
Have you ever come across orbs while hunting Bigfoot?
Oh, the O word. Orbs, yes. Once I have. Don't like to talk about it because I don't know what it is. I like to try to keep my presentations very fact-based and open-minded to people that want to go out and explore. When you come to other things that are otherworldly dimensions that I can't explain, I try to not to include that in my presentation. Have I experienced it? Yes. Do I know what it is? No. Do I want to know? Absolutely not. Anybody else? Yes.
When you
you give out a call, how often do you get a response?
10% of the time. Yeah, it's about, I get activity 10% of the time when I go out, which if you guys actually think about a Bigfoot, research investigation, 10% of the time is extremely high for Bigfoot activity. Does anybody else have any other questions? Yes.
Have you ever tried to figure out a mating season for Bigfoot? Because when you hunt game, you get in sync with the mating season.
Right. Sure. The mating season of Bigfoot, we don't know. That's the thing. I think Bigfoot are nomadic, so I think they follow the food, which means that they're more food-based than they are animalistic based. You know what I mean? So I think that they would follow the food more. So I think that's where we're gonna find Bigfoot is by following the food and the berries and the things. You can't. For Bigfoot to be able to reproduce, you have to be able to obviously go outside of your range, right? So I think they do, but it's difficult. That's difficult. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
Have you ever explored more rural parts of Virginia?
Rural parts in Virginia?
Yeah, like Sky Drive, southwestern Virginia.
That's why I'm here. Tell me where. Tell me where to go.
I mean, I would think there would be more sightings in those areas than Richland County.
Okay.
You have like Quantico there, which is pretty heavily wooded. But
Well, Quantico's they've got some sightings there. That's the craziest part.
yeah.
Where
I'm just curious if you've been to other parts of Virginia.
I've been all over. I mean, throughout the state. I'm going to be in Samuel Park Royal in not too long, in a couple months. Then I'll be down by South and Hanging Rock, North Carolina, Virginia. But yeah, I mean, if you want to check out the YouTube channel, you can check out all the places that I've been in Virginia. It's cool stuff. Anybody else? Guys, I want to thank you so much. This is the coolest thing. You guys have to realize that y'all came out here because of Bigfoot. Right? Like imagine that. And imagine me living my dream because of you guys. Thank you for everything you do. My name is Mike Familant. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much. What's that? All right. So now the question is, again, who's had any sightings? Anybody?
Hear anything?
It was a good try. Good try.
Okay.
You've heard some? Can you?
I've heard.
You want?
So I've lived in Nokesville most of my life, all of my life.
Hey
And
guys.
I've heard whoops probably 3 or 4 times over the course of my life in Nokesville. And he was a non-believer for years and years and years. And about, how many years ago? Yeah. Santa brought a trampoline, so we were out in the backyard putting this trampoline together, and it was so foggy you couldn't hardly see in front of me. I don't know how to describe this creature that we could hear beside us, but we couldn't see. It was huge, and you could just hear the footprints and going through the woods. And my non-believer became a believer very quickly.
Thank you. Anyways, thank you guys again so much for coming out tonight today to Cedar Run Brewery. I appreciate it. My name is Mike Familant. Check out In the Shadow of Big Red Eye. I really appreciate it. You guys are totally awesome. So have a good night there.
All right, there you have it, guys. I can hear you, Gary. I think I can hear you. Oh, you're muted.
Can you hear me, Billy?
There you go. I got you now. All right, so this is what the brewery looks like from the outside.
All right.
That way y'all get an idea. Over here is Mike's research vehicle. I don't know if you can see that. And we don't have no snow yet. How about you, Gary?
I'm sitting on about 5 inches right now, and they've got rain in the forecast, freezing rain.
All right. Well, I'm going to be heading home here soon before it starts. I know it's coming this way. I think they're projecting us to get about a foot up on the mountain. So appreciate everybody coming on. It was kind of a hard thing to do a live show like that. I need to get me like a laptop or an iPad or something. It's hard to do on your phone. So anyway, Gary, thank you for being on.
Sorry I was late, Billy.
Oh no, you're fine. To be honest, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to see you or not. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and log everything off, and then tomorrow, don't forget, we will have a show. I think I got a show scheduled, don't I? I don't even remember. That's terrible, Gary. I have to look it up. All right. So anyway,
Luke Gross.
we got Luke. That's it. All right. I'm getting ready to show you something that I made last night. Billy Willard is starting to learn how to use AI. So y'all have to tell me what you think about this. Here we go.
In the heart of the forest, legends awaken from the shadows. The tales of Sasquatch echo through time, a mystery that remains unsolved. As the smoke clears, the sign stands resolute, a beacon of intrigue. What secrets lie within the forest's depths? The quest for truth begins at Sasquatch Watch Radio.
What'd you think about that?
That's awesome.
Took me about an hour to create that. So playing around, having fun. All right. Thank you, Gary. Thanks, everybody, for being on. We're going to close out the show, and then I will see everybody tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everybody.
Good night.